meeting that's left is with the National Security Advisor to the President, Dr. Mufamadi, which is on Friday. It was just a matter of availability, and I know that it may be seen today that we're putting the cart before the horse, but his matter is quite pointed in terms of what we are looking to hear from him, because and also one is mindful of the moving parliamentary program, so we need to make maximum use of our time. So that's why I thought let's meet today and deliberate on what we have heard so far, because we had agreed that we would have to make a determination as to whether we are proceeding with an inquiry or not, but to hear everyone. So I would like to open it up to you, colleagues, to make your reflections, and then we will proceed in that fashion. I don't see any. I know that research has sent through a summary of what we have heard from everyone, and thank you very much for that. So that for ease of reference in terms of the points and salient issues that had been raised by all of those that appeared before us, in terms of us trying to piece the puzzle together. All right, I see the hand of the Honorable Van Minen. Over to you.
Thanks very much, Chair. I've been thinking a lot about this, and I think that we really do, as SCOPA, need to sit down and draft some recommendations to Parliament about this, because, it's a very, very serious situation. I think we all realize how Eskom's success or failure really, at this point, holds the country's fate in their hands. The problem is what we're sitting with is very much he said, she said, well, very few she said, but very much a case of he said, no, he said, no, he said. If you just look, for example, at the documents that were produced here, between what the current board chair was saying and what Prof. Mahlobo was saying about, what Andre is saying, about what the minister is saying. So it is, to a certain extent, quite difficult to draw firm conclusions or recommendations from this. Another complication is that Andre de Ruyter appears to be abroad, so one isn't going to be able to subpoena him. So really, I think what we need to do, if I may suggest, is discuss as a panel or as a committee what recommendations need to be made given the constraints that we're operating under. I do think myself that there needs to be an investigation into what is going on, or possibly parliamentary investigation, because really what we're seeing is very contradictory. Then people get caught out, then they suddenly remember, then they deny. It's a very muddled and, in a way, very anecdotal situation that we're sitting with. But I do think that whatever we come up with in this meeting, there needs to be very firm recommendations, and that should include widening the scope of this into a proper investigation. Well, this is a proper investigation, but a proper formal parliamentary investigation, so that we can really get to the bottom of all these contradictory comments and try to find the strand of what is actually going on. Thanks.
Right, thank you very much, Honorable Van Minen. Any other? I don't see hands in our group, colleagues, so I'm gonna assume that. All right, Babu Somya, there you go. Right. And then Honorable Mente. All right, perfect. In that order, please.
No, thanks, Chair. Good morning, colleagues. I think so far there is good progress which we could develop some view on, though we still have these other people which I think we need to invite as well. There is reference to certain Mr. Becker, whom I think it would be of value to listen to him, and cited as well among the people who are featuring, even from Mr. Director's first document, the DG in the presidency, as some of the people which I think we have to invite, and then thereafter we can I think we can sit and say, so far this is what we have amassed through such, then this is the way forward which we need to propose, whatever that we have to make such a proposition. And I think so far so good, but let's give everyone that ought to be listened to. If I remember well, we said that we might have to have a second bite in as far as the board is concerned, which is Eskom. There is a legal advisor there whom was key. I think Honorable Yes made reference to the acting CEO who was away, who has been a CFO at the time. So I think there's still a number of people that we have to give them an opportunity and to interview in as far as the whole saga is concerned. So it might be premature so far to say this is the route that we must probably take going forward. That's the proposition which I wanted to probably propose and move with. Thanks, Chair.
All right, thank you, Babu Sono. Honorable Mente.
Nkosi Chairperson Manmuli said to everyone, Chair, I'm not going to be far different from my colleagues. As far as the submission by Deliberation is concerned, it has a lot of elements in it. It has criminal elements and it has governance elements. And if we can then look into it in terms of the people that are mentioned, and also in terms of what he knew as a person, but not just as a person, but as a person in charge of the utility, and whose obligation was to open cases, was to discipline certain people, but most importantly, who had an obligation to alert Parliament when he was accounting that so and so is interfering, hence I cannot move in terms of operations or whatsoever. So I would like us, when we move forward, yes, still call everyone else who's mentioned in the submission to get their side of the story. But at the very same time, Chair, we need a drastic measure. I hear that Andre is outside the country and all of that. Even if he's outside the country, he cannot run away from the arm of the law. Andre, first and foremost, he failed to carry out his fiduciary duties. He became an accomplice to crime, according to what he says. And we do not know the depth of him being involved in the very same malfeasance that he is pointing at other people's direction. The latest disclosure by the minister during his appearance, that when he was talking to him about vetting, he specifically said he does not want to give the state security his financial documents. He cannot give his financial affairs. And given the situation we are in now, and we see the cartels and everything that was operating, who knows that even himself was not actually the main driver beyond the cartels and being given kickbacks? Why would he refuse with his financial documents to be submitted? Why would that be of interest to him, that I can give them my name, I can give them my ID, but they will not have access to my financial information? That for me is very problematic. Thus, requesting, Chair, how do we as a committee deal with that? Because one, it's criminal. Two, he failed in every aspect of leading Eskom. Now he's telling us that certain individuals were stealing out of Eskom. Wasn't he stealing himself? He failed to do what he was supposed to do. Why are we not laying criminal cases against him so that he can go and answer to court? During his submission, he says to us, he will be comfortable answering in the court of law. How are we initiating that platform from our side for Deliberation to go and answer in the court of law? Because right now he is not prepared to give us names. No one is prepared to give us names. And even with the particular report of their forensic, whatever they call it, that they did, the intelligence report, which they did, is of no use to us. It's a report of other people. It's already a muddied report, because if it gives names and then it cannot give names, it can give certain information, but it's not giving us any information about a person who refused to be vetted. What if we were harboring a criminal? So I'm posing these questions, Chair, for us to find a solution, because there should be a mechanism. And I think legal of parliament could guide us in this, that we must do something. We have to open a case against Deliberation. Then he will be able to tell us in court who are the people that are involved in destroying Eskom. Thank you, Chair.
All right, thank you very much, Honorable Mentor. Honorable Liz.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Good morning to our colleagues. I think there's pretty much unanimity here in the sense that we've done a lot of talking to various people, and some have cooperated, others haven't. But we haven't really got to a point where there's sufficient evidence and information to be able to make substantive recommendations in a report to the National Assembly. So I think that we're all in agreement that we need to look further. The only thing I would suggest that we could do in terms of recommendations to the NA would be to recommend that a full ad hoc committee be established to run a full investigation with all the powers that go with it. But, Mr. Chairman, failing that, I think that then we need to look at the proposal you made at the beginning of this process for a committee investigation to be undertaken, and we've already got the modus operandi for that from the parliamentary legal. So that would be another possible step, because whilst we have chatted to various people, there are some of those who, in light of new information that's coming out, we need to re-talk to and speak to a second time to establish further information. So that's where I think we are. I think we're all in agreement that this is a little early, premature to produce a report for the NA, but it's how we go forward. We can call further people to the committee, as Honourable Somia has suggested, I think, and Honourable Mente, or we can make a recommendation to the NA that really this should be taken out of Scopa's hands and put into the hands of an ad hoc committee, or Scopa can now proceed with the committee investigation, which was, it wasn't discarded, it was kind of put on the back burner earlier in the process. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Right. Thank you, Honourable. Yes, Honourable Hadebe with an H.
Thank you, Chair. Apologies for joining late, but I think I've grasped the debate and what has been proposed thus far. And I would like to fully concur with Honourable Somio that there is a need. We have covered the ground, but there's still a need to call more people to appear before us, for us to be able to produce a credible and substantive report to Parliament. And that report will give us a direction in terms of what is our next step. We really need to move with speed and ensure that all those outstanding people, remember we have not had a second round with the board and the former board chair. We have not even called the AG. There's a brigadier that we still need to summon. To call, we have not done that. We'll interact with the advisor to the president. There's still a second round where Mr. Andre, he indicated that he was willing to come back. So on the eve of all these revelations, there has to be a follow-up so that we satisfy ourselves that indeed this information that we have, having concluded that, is sufficient for us to take this certain direction. And I also want to agree that EGAL also has to be roped in to say, having had what has been revealed thus far, what do you think should be now the best possible way forward for us? So I would suggest that we give out the list of the individuals that we think should appear, and that list must be somewhat conclusive, so that after the end of those names, we then table a concrete proposal. So, Chair, if you could say perhaps maybe a day or two, colleagues indicate a list of names that we think should still appear, or based on the happenings, I'm sure that the committee staff would be able to indicate this. These are the people that were mentioned, and then you give us those lists, those names, and then we interact. If we need to add, we'll do so. That will be my submission, Chair. But I still strongly feel that we are capable as SCOPA to continue. We have not seen any element or sign of us not being able to deal with this matter to its finality. So at this point in time, it will be premature to seek to suggest that other committees or certain structures should take over from us. We have done a great job thus far, and we must maintain the rules of natural justice and Ataram Patem rule, and have a platform where those that have been mentioned will be able to engage with us. Thank you, Chair.
All right, thank you, Honorable Hadebe. Honorable Suwea.
Thank you. Morning, Chair, and morning to the colleagues on the platform and everybody on the platform. I'm also in concurrence that let us exhaust calling everybody who is supposed to come in and answer as per the allegations. But what I want to request, Chair, is that one, give us maybe a day or two with a deadline to say, who do you think we should be calling, so that as a committee, we can agree that these are the names which are outstanding? I'm saying this because, for example, if we agree that we're going to call the legal advisor to the president, for example, he comes and then he implicates other people. My fear is that we might stretch until the whole year, and necessarily the committee has got other work to do beyond the issue of Eskom. So one, if we have got an agreement as a committee that let's list the people that we think we want to call, and after calling these ones, then we can move to say, do we move to call for a inquiry, a parliamentary process? The other issue that I'm in agreement and I want to emphasize is the issue of the legal unit assisting us in relation to also acting towards Mr. Director. Is it a legal case? What is it that are our powers that we can be able to do so that he can actually start speaking, so that we can find conclusion to the matter? The last one, Chair, is with regard to, and I'm just throwing it to yourself, that I am worried that, for example, we have got a program of SCOPA, which we're supposed to implement until the financial year. I think I've got a copy of it if I'm correct. What are the possibilities that, for example, we meet twice in a week, that we can exhaust ourselves just so we can finish the matter? To say, if we look into our diaries, we can make it 3 days, something like that, so that we can do the Eskom issue and be able to finish, so that we don't lag behind with other responsibilities which we're supposed to do on other entities. Thank you, Chair.
All right, thank you, colleagues. I think that exhausts the list. All right, let me start with the last issue that Honorable Suwea raises. And say next week, Tuesday, we have, next week, Tuesday, we have SAA. And I've received a request from Honorable Somyo that we also engage the Competition Commission. So we're looking at a date on that as well. I've agreed to that around its rationale and thinking on SAA related matters. So next week, Tuesday, the program of the committee stands that we will deal with SAA, and then on Wednesday, we will deal with the SABC. Because I agree that we must not lose sight of all the responsibilities and work that the committee has outside this Eskom related process. So that is next week that the program stands. So Tuesday, colleagues, SAA, Wednesday, SABC. I know that because of budget season, we're sort of navigating a difficult time. We may have to, consider reverting to our evening meetings for some of these matters, and we'll probably do them virtually. And if not, I'll make a special application to the presiding officers that we be allowed to be part of the committees that will meet during the recess period at the end of June. So there are various options available to us. We will look at the program. So my sense is that, colleagues, you would want us to complete the full set of persons to appear before us and engagements, and then complete that list, exhaust it, and then make a determination on how we move forward. I know that the issue around an ad hoc committee has been proposed and put on the table. But I must say I have a level of skepticism redoing what the House has taken a decision on already. So I think we do need to apply our minds on that. I'll get legal to assist us in that regard, insofar as that ad hoc committee is concerned. And so I think let us keep sight on the option which by and large remains available to us now, which is a committee inquiry, its own limitations notwithstanding, and we can see how far we can expand the scope. So let's look at that. I just feel that it may be some sort of tautology to take it back to make the same proposal, but let's look at those options. Right, then there's the list that I have here. What I've noted, what members have said, is that we do need to have an engagement again with the board of Eskom. General Berger is one person whom we've flagged, whom we must engage with as a committee. I heard a proposal around the AG as well on some of these matters, and the DG and the presidency, and that we get Mr. Deliberation to come back to engage with us. I would also want to add the former board member of Eskom, Ms. Mavuso, because of the intelligence report, because it does seem that some knew about it and some didn't, and she would be in the category of those that were privy to the work of the intelligence gathering there as well. So we've got a list of 6 at this point, and of course the National Security Advisor is appearing before us on Friday, and Honorable Siwe is right, he may cite other people. So colleagues, let's then say we will continue with the engagements and re-engagements where necessary of interested persons and parties, or persons of interest to us and parties on this matter. And then we will complete our list on Friday after we have met with Dr. Mufamadi. So can I have your proposed list of persons by close of business on Friday, so that Sistomi Putben, during the course of the weekend, we can then sort of look at the program and see how we schedule them and move forward with proposed dates, and then present those to colleagues after our SAA meeting on Tuesday, or rather we can circulate the proposed program around these persons of interest or parties after that meeting, and then we can take it forward. Some of them is very pointed issues, so they don't need a full day's meeting. You schedule them online and we get what we want, get the clarities that we need. My sense is that we need a physical meeting with General Berger, given the extent to which is sort of the point of convergence of all these interactions, whether it's from Mr. Deliberators' side or the National Commissioner of Police, the Minister of Police, and the Minister of Public Enterprises. He's a common denominator on this. So we do need a protracted engagement with him. So I think then the consensus is that we are on track. We continue with the program of persons of interest, and we will take a determination. I think, Sister Ntombi, let's try and complete this process just in time before Parliament rises, so that we will know whether committee meetings will need to be scheduled during the recess period and make the application, and then they can be clustered so that they're not over weeks on end. Find 1 week that works for all of us and then complete the meeting. So colleagues, we will work the program. If there's any names you have now and before Friday, please bring those as well. But can I have your final list then by close of business on Friday? Of these, including but not limited to what I've picked up here in the names that you have. Are colleagues agreeable to that?
Agreed. Thank you.
Agreed, Chairperson, agreed.
Okay.
Agreed, Chair, agreed.
Okay. All right. So the process is ongoing. We will make a determination later then as to how we proceed. For now, we're still continuing with our engagements. All right. That's fine. That decision then stands. So let us then say Friday, 9:30, colleagues, on the virtual platform. We are meeting with Dr. Mufamadi, and I'm advised he will be accompanied by the state attorney in his appearance on Friday. So 9:30 virtual platform as well, and then we'll decide. Right. Thank you very much. That dispenses with that matter. Ben, housekeeping rules minutes, please.
I got you.
Oh, just to say, colleagues, we will find a date as well for the competition. We're still working on that, so they can brief us on the latest developments that I'm sure you are all aware of insofar as SAA is concerned. So once that date is secured, we will come back to you on that one. Right, but Ben, we are in your hands.
Okay, Chair, let me just get my
Chair,
things.
Yes,
Okay.
Honorable Hadebe.
Yes, I think in your absentia, I had proposed to the then chair when we were dealing with PRASA that we we should consider, given what PRASA has shared with us, we should consider calling the City of Cape Town and Western Cape Provincial Government in relation to the frustration shared by PRASA. Lastly, I think we should also consider the option of having legal services in our meetings if going forward with this derater matter, so that they can promptly advise and give us pointers to the right direction, if that's possible.
All right. Yeah, the legal did explain its constraints. So what we have done is they are in receipt of all documents and all proceedings. They are quite up to date in terms of what needs to happen. But as far as possible, they will endeavor to attend. We've had that engagement, so I agree with you. Okay, the Western Cape government and PRASA. So Stombi, but Ben, do remind me. Let's look at that and find a date for that as well on PRASA related matters before we rise. Colleagues, like I said, I will ask that if possible to make now use of our evening meetings. And I know that Fridays, whilst they're a committee day, they do become a bit complicated for us for a host of reasons. So we will make use of the Wednesday evening time slot to compensate for Fridays, unless otherwise proving very impossible. So, okay, Sister Ben, let's look at the PRASA matters around Western Cape government and City of Cape Town. No problem. We will do. Thanks for that, Honorable Hadeb. All right, but Ben, we are in your hands.
Okay, Chair, these are not in any particular order. So these are for 2022, just to remind ourselves. We haven't compiled the list for 2022, but we can do that very quickly. But for now, let's do the 2022 minutes in no particular order.
Okay, that's fine. These have all been circulated. They were all circulated. They are all with us within 3-4 days after the meeting. So all members should have them, yeah. All right. Colleagues, the usual mover and the seconder, just so that we update our records. The mover, please. Corrections? No corrections. The
We
mover.
take it, there's none.
I move, Chair.
Thanks, Honorable Bukes. Seconder?
I second, Chair.
Thank you. All right. Thank you very much. Next set, please.
22 March.
Corrections on page 1. Page 2. Page 3. Page 4. And page 5.
Okay.
A mover, please.
But that the corner I move. That the corner.
Wawukhona.
Yeah, I move.
Seconder.
So I guess that the corner I move.
Oh, Ibo, yay. All right, seconder.
Who else has got a bulk second? Second. You can second in bulk.
Honorable Hadebe with an H.
All right, thank you. All right, go up a bit, Ben. Thank you very much. Right, the 29th of March. Can I have a mover?
Honorable Hadebe, I move.
All right. So like I said, these were circulated and corrections in some were sent prior, actually. So
Was Hateb in? I suspect was in Africa House.
okay, second on that second appeal.
Second chair. A second chair.
All right, thank you very much, Honorable Somyo. Seconded, right, 10th of May.
Likewise, Chair Hadebe in attendance and propose adoption.
All right.
Okay.
Second,
I'll just have to sort out that red part. It's
there's
fine.
that red one there.
Yeah.
Like when these were like done, it's just that we need to formally adopt them.
Yes.
So
I second, Chair.
thank you very much, Honorable Bukes. Uphu Deputy Chair Mazambani wathula nje. Sekune reshuffle.
Ungangivusi manje.
Voga.
I thought he was busy reading the book.
No, I've got other interesting reading. Wait.
All right, 15 March. Hey.
Mazamba is reading the Mashaba book now.
I don't have the money to buy one.
Oh, guys. All right. Can I have a mover for these minutes, please?
Move.
All right, Honorable Lisa, second. Day made. You know, South Africa is a movie, guys.
I second, Chair.
Thanks, Honorable Bukes. Next set. I think I should write a book as well.
Mine is coming on nicely.
And you must declare the funders, please, up front.
No,
Yeah, I
Mazambane,
mean, who's
be
paying you
kind.
12.5 million?
All right. This is on the ref matters. Can we get a mover?
I'll move.
Thanks, Honorable Van Minen. Seconder.
I second.
All right, thank you.
All right, so let me just minimize here for a while and get another set
Mazambane,
open.
who's your funder?
Oh, yeah. We MPs are paid so much money. Do we need a funder?
Mazamba, declare, who is your funder?
Mazambane, all I ask, can you be kind in your book, ne?
Me, kind. I'm
Yes,
always kind.
Just rather say I love coffee than say I like the mic or something. Okay, next set of Ben is okay. It's just minimizing.
Yes, I'm moving all these that
Okay, that's
were
fine.
adopted so that I can remain with a cleaner list. 10, 5, 53, 4, 5. Okay. 3. Okay, 63. Okay. All right, let's get the next ones. 30 August.
30 August.
Move.
All right. Mazamba, you had placed an apology there.
Oh, okay.
Chair,
Honorable Bucas,
can they just come down? Who's E-Bakers there? Can they
just go up, Ben.
Oh, up.
There.
E-Bakers. E-Bakers.
Now you
Market
make me
prediction.
forget your initial. Sorry.
My husband is E-Bakers, so it's okay.
Ooh.
Community of property.
Twin flames.
I move. I move with it. Sure.
Okay, thank you very much. Seconder. The seconder, colleagues, please.
Able.
Let me take it as seconded.
Next set. This was an AG briefing on water-related. Ben, there, up. I remember this set. Go up. There, the title, Department of Water Affairs, just there. There you go, to the affairs. And just, there we go. I remember this.
Okay. It shows you read.
Of course we read. Okay. Okay, move up.
Give up.
I'll second.
31 August.
Okay, next set.
15 June.
I move.
Well, thank you. Next set. Right, colleagues, the mover.
Unfortunately, I was not present.
A mover, please.
I move.
All right, Ben, just
And I'll
change
second,
the E there.
and I'll second it.
Thank you very much. Just change the E there. All right.
Okay.
Oh, again. September. That one's done.
Great, colleagues.
Second,
Moving. All right, next set.
Okay, let me get another bet out. You can give me a moment. 16 March done. 7 June done. 15
Upra Ben, you
June.
also having badges. You like Minister Pravin Gordon giving us badges of information.
Oh,
I learned from the best.
Namhlanje nje
August.
angiroli nje ngizonifihla phi
31 August. 15 June. That's the one. September. Okay. 15, 14, 20, 21, 27, 28. Right. Right. Next one is 13 September.
I move for adoption.
Take it as adopted. September.
Mr. Hadebe, I move for adoption.
In this September. Chair, in the absence of comment or objection, would it be safe to assume that it's adopted?
I move for adoption.
I second. Yes, I think with Ben, that approach will assist us a great deal unless there are objection.
Okay.
Thank you.
20 September. 21 September.
Okay. Sorry? So I've got earphones in. Okay.
21 September. Take that as adopted.
I move for adoption.
27 September. September, done.
Just change the E and I move.
Yes, I did that. '28. September going. September. Oh, Ms. Bukes, I remember why I always have an E. Your email address is EB. You know, that's why I make that mistake. September gone. Okay, let's get a new sketch. Okay, 15 September. 15 September. 20 September. 21 September. 27 September. 28 September. 7 September. Next lot. Almost there. plus set. 19 October. Starting the titles there. In October. I think that is sorted.
I move
20 October. Right, 20 October. Okay. 1 November.
Right.
I move
I second.
Okay, that's 1 November. 2 November. To November.
Okay.
9 November. Mr. Lisa, are your initials correct?
Who knows?
Okay.
RA,
RA
right?
is correct, yeah.
Okay.
The Rifle Association.
Okay, 9 November. 15 November. Okay, 15 November is done. 16 November. That's a bit far. Then the 2 November. Twenty-three.
23 November.
Okay, that is accepted. 29 November. Twenty-nine. 30. 30 November. Eighteen October. That brings us to the end of the lot.
All right. Thank you very much, Ben. All right. Colleagues, I think we are done for today. Unless there's any other matter going once, going twice, going thrice, gone. Colleagues, we will meet on Friday at 9:30 to engage with the National Security Advisor, Dr. Mufamadi, on the virtual platform. Have a good week, take care, and Godspeed. Meeting is adjourned.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Chair.
Chair.
Don't
and
leave the
goodbye to
chair.
everybody.
Don't leave the chair.
Shop, shop.
Chairperson.